Today we have a bit of a challenge or a project on our hands. We are going to find the cheapest bobcat that we can find, and we're going to see if we can make a decent deal on it, bring it home, fix it up, and use it around here. I've been wanting a bobcat for a while. I don't have one, so it'd be nice to have one, but I don't want to drop 40 grand on a bobcat. And I did find one for sale. It was advertised for $32.50. It's old. It's a Bobcat 610, so it was made probably in the 70s or 80s, somewhere in that time frame. But it does have a backhoe attachment that comes with it. He says it does run and drive, but it needs some work. So we're gonna go take a look at it, see what kind of work it needs, check out this backhoe, see if it's worth anything, see if it's worth our trouble. But hopefully it is. Hopefully we can get this thing bought, bring it home, and get it fixed up to use around here. So let's go take off, go look at it, see what he's got. We're here in Vacaville. We've got David with us, and we're going to be taking a look at a bobcat. He's going to walk us through it, take a look, see if it's something that we can work on here and restore. But let's take a look at it. David, can you show us what you got?
Yeah, what we have here is around a 1980s model Bobcat's M610, I believe, with the Wisconsin 4-cylinder gas engine. It cranks up every time, runs good, no leaks, has a backhoe attachment, and it's pretty good for all the little stuff you need to do around the farm. So
you said it fires up every time. Can you fire it up?
Sure.
Let's take a listen.
Certainly.
Every time but that time, right?
Every time but that time. Of course. Why wouldn't it?
Cool. So it looks like you replaced a couple lines here.
Yeah, so rebuilt 1, 2, 3 lines. Rebuilt this tilt cylinder. There's a couple more lines that need rebuilt on here in the backhoe. But once you get those done, you'd be good to go.
Okay. And then, let's see, so we've got, you said there was a leak on one of the cylinders. Is that on the backhoe though?
Yeah, on the backhoe.
Let's go take a look at the backhoe.
I think from my extensive YouTube research, I think it'll dig probably around 7 feet.
Oh, it has a 7-foot reach?
Yeah, so
Nice.
you'd be able to dig down 7 feet. This cylinder has slight, of course you can see all the pitting and whatnot. It has a slight leak.
Okay.
And then these 2 hoses, of course, and then these 2 hoses, and then you should be on your way.
Okay.
The quick disconnects, they're not frozen.
A little milky.
Yeah, sorry, it's been out here in the rain.
Nah. Okay. And then, so you said there was damage though on this fitting, right?
Correct. Yeah, I dropped a bucket on it on accident.
Okay.
That fitting is cracked. Luckily, it looks like nothing else is cracked in the valve body or anything.
Okay. Yeah, okay, looks cool. Yeah, let's talk some price on it, and then I'll bring you guys back. We'll see if we make a deal on this or not. And yeah, cool little tractor. Well, we paid $2,500. I'm not quite sure if we got a good deal or if we lost on this one, but the good thing is that it does run and drive, and there's not a lot of excessive smoke, and well, it runs and drives. So hey, that's a head start for most of the stuff that we buy. But the downfalls are it needs work. I think every single weld on the machine had been re-welded, and welds are welded on top of welds, and so it's seen some use, that's for sure. The backhoe, well, yeah, let's just say it's awful. It's not that great. It did its job, I think, for somebody at some point in the past, but I don't think we're going to do too much to save it. We'll throw it on the Bobcat. I'm curious to see if it's really going to work or not. But there were some creative modifications that were done to the Bobcat to make it all fit. I'll show you that in a little bit, but it's not the greatest way of fabricating something to work. But you know what? I do give them credit for making something work, so it's cool. Someone made something to fix a problem that they had, and hey, I give them credit for that. That's cool. But I don't think that we're going to use it. I think we're going to sell it off. We'll keep the Bobcat. We'll use the Bobcat as a Bobcat and not as a backhoe. So anyway, let's dig into it. I want to take a look, show you guys around. We'll see what we got here, see what needs to be fixed, and take it from there. All right, let's look at this basket case a little closer now that we got it home here. This thing is thrashed. It's got all kinds of problems, but it runs, so that is, but it runs, so hey, it's got that going for it right now, right? Not sure how long it's going to run, but right now it does. So first thing I noticed here, got a crack. We got to weld that up. Hydraulics, chrome on that seen better days. That is pitted and rusty. Both sides are just like that. And let's take a look here. He said one of these were leaking. I think it was the other side that was leaking, if I remember right. I'll have to look into that some more. Yeah, that one looks like it's been leaking over there. But you can see also that, and I didn't notice this right away either, but let's see if I can get that shot. Down in there, that big hole that was cut out, that is so the backhoe can fit in there. Apparently there's that rear cylinder there on the backhoe. It's not a good shot here. Let me see if I can get it. So that cylinder right there sticks into the machine. So the majority of the hoses on this machine need to be replaced. And looking down in here, you can see a leak. Looks like that's coming from right here. And the pins and bushings on here looked like they'd seen better days as well. I was messing with it a little bit too, and those will need some work. But the seat's out right now, but we can get a better look of what's going on in here. So it's a 4-cylinder, I think he said it's a 4-cylinder Wisconsin, if I remember right. What I know about them, I don't know much about these engines, but they're not the best in the world, and it is a gas. It's a gas engine, so it's not ideal for this type of tractor. But for the price, I don't think it was a bad deal. The belt on there, from the little bit I can see here, looks okay. There's no major cracking. What else we got going on here? Air filter, the air cleaner housing up here on the top. He said it was a Bobcat 610, I think is what he said. I don't see a model number on it anywhere. But let's look for some leaks here. What do we got going on? Yeah, there's a couple leaks on the trailer deck. That wasn't there. So it's leaking something that looks like hydraulic. Be able to tell better once I get this unloaded. But that's not shocking. I expected this thing to leak from every possible place, and it's certainly living up to that expectation. So there's no hour meter that I found yet, and he said that there's some linkage down there underneath that pedal. It broke when he was trying to mount the backhoe to it, and he re-welded it. You can see a weld right there. It's holding it together right now. So we'll look into that as well. So let's take a look at the backhoe. And she's got a little bit of rust. Looks like it was sitting on the bottom of an ocean. But we can clean that up. I'm not too worried about it. Structurally, it all looked good. I didn't see any cracks, anything major going on with it. There were some spots. Let's see if I can find them. It looked like someone had, fixed it by welding it. But it'll need all new hoses. I shouldn't say all new hoses. Quite a few new hoses. And I need to figure out what exactly this one is, what model it is. It almost looks like the frame here, the mounting frame it almost looks homemade. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But there's some more rust up here. This is the top cylinder. You can see the rust going on in here. That's just going to destroy the seals inside there. Yeah, in fact, I can feel waves in there as I run my hand across it, so this whole cylinder's got to be replaced. Go around here. Apparently it just mounts on, there's a pin there, 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 and there. Oops. And it's supposed to mount right here, and then down lower, you can see down there, there's mounting hardware, mounting brackets. Let's see. Yeah, you can tell in here, this was reinforced. There's some steel bar on here. I can't quite figure this out. Part of it looks homemade. Yeah, what do you guys think? This does not look factory at all. I mean, look at that right there. I wasn't able to check the oil because the dipstick is supposed to go here. Dipstick is missing, someone capped it. So there's no way of checking the oil level or the condition of it. And fuel filter, that's been in there for a decade. So yeah, it'll need a little work. Been welded a couple times, see that? Yep. Look at that. Beautiful. That got way too sketchy. I did not like that whatsoever. I was driving into the backhoe to hook it up, and as it was coming in, the entire control assembly here was getting closer and closer, and it just closes you in. The way it's designed is this is supposed to stick into the cab, and you're supposed to be able to operate it while you're in your chair, which in theory is good, but once it gets too close and you're trying to move into it, you have nowhere to go. So if something were to happen and you were to accidentally bump it and the whole thing falls into your lap, you're gonna seriously regret that choice. So I'm not doing it. It just was not worth it. Didn't like it. And I think if someone really wanted to use it, they could get it up off the ground, put it on blocks, or level everything out and just get it just right so you can use it. It, to me, just isn't worth the trouble anymore. So there's too much wrong with it. The hoses are shot. It just wasn't worth it. So moving on, we're gonna just take the Bobcat, we're gonna clean it up, fix it up, fluid change, all that good stuff. So let's move on to that part. Let's start with the oil, the engine oil, and hydraulics after that. There's some leaks in the hydraulic system that I need to check out as well. That looks way too thin. And it's got fuel in it. Let's check the magnet on the bottom here. There's some sludge on it, maybe a little bit of metallic shavings in there, nothing crazy. I mean, it's a 40-plus-year-old machine, so there's gonna be a little bit. Plus, who knows how long it's been sitting in that machine like that as well. I don't see anything glaringly wrong with it other than the fact that there's a bunch of fuel in the oil, but as far as metal shavings, I don't see a lot. This will give you a better look at how watery this stuff is. See how that's just dripping out of there? That's really thin, not ideal. Alright, I guess we need a filter wrench. Oh yeah, beautiful. Look. Feel like it wanted a thread on there. 1106, new filter. Still rolling. Oops. It feels like it's just popping off there. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong, but it does. It gets like, you can feel like it's biting on a thread and then it just pops loose. I can thread it on without that gasket. It's almost like the gasket's the wrong size. So if I take the filter without the gasket and I drop it in there, thread's right on, no problem. That's in there nice and tight. But putting the gasket on, that's where the problem is. So I'm gonna go heat the gasket just by itself this time. We might need to kind of just get that to form around there a little better. It might be a little too thick, so I think if we just heat it up enough and then run it on really quick, it might take care of it. So let's try that. Tried a few things on that filter, wasn't working. For some reason, it just kept popping off. It wouldn't thread on, so I swapped it out, got a new one. Let's try this one out. We'll see. Could have been just some kind of a defect in the other one. Try this. Yep. That one went right on. That's exactly right. Nice. So we're still missing our dipstick right here. That's where the dipstick should go. Someone capped it, and I found one on Amazon, surprisingly, and have that on order. It's going to take a few days to get it here, so can't really check anything at the moment, but once we get one, we'll throw one back in there and double check the levels. But the manual says 5 quarts, and that's what we just added, so should be good. All right, got the new fitting in. We're going to swap that really quick. Watch all this milk come out. Oh yeah, it's a milkshake. Let's get that crusty fuel filter out of there. That is one ugly filter, man. It's probably been a while. Really probably should change out these hoses too. These things are actually starting to get kind of cracked. Okay, so next up is a hydraulic fluid and the filter. So we'll get that drained out, swap the filter, and then we're gonna start cleaning it up, fixing some of the welds on it. So, all right, let's get the fluids changed out. There we go. So next up is a hydraulic filter. I can't get you underneath there. The shot's just way too tight and it's too greasy. I really don't want to destroy my camera equipment underneath there. So got a filter, I'll pull it apart, bring it back out, we'll take a look at it. But I need to get underneath, loosen it up, try not to make a big mess. fluid coming out now. Yeah. All right. So there's the housing. I'm gonna get a bucket so we can put this filter in it as we pull it out. So there's still a lot of fluid in there. Let's see if you can see in there. I'm gonna get this closer. There's a bunch of chunks falling out of this filter. It's like dirt and debris. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but let's see, where'd it go? There we go. See at the bottom of that? It's a bunch of, looks like rust. Rust and dirt, all kinds of good stuff in there. So let's pull that whole filter out, see what we got. So this housing should separate from here somehow. Oh yeah, look at all that. Fully junk. Yep. All right, get the new one in there, put it all back together. Beautiful. So the new kit, or the new gasket, came with two new seals. Looks like there's a seal, like a washer in here. Believe that goes around here. I gotta look at the schematic again. That'll drop around the shaft, and then we got the spring, and there should be one more of these washers in there. But inside here, that focus, you can see all the rust and the, look at all that junk in there. So that's why we're doing this maintenance now. So let's clean it up. So the good thing is I didn't see any metal shavings. There was a bunch of just that rust, which looks like, it's almost like it's hard to explain, just kind of slimy almost. I don't think it's just dirt. There is, yeah, I mean it looks like maybe some rust was in there from maybe an internal component that had rusted over time, maybe from some of the, yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of guessing now, but anyway, something in there rusted, but that is all I see. I don't see any metal shavings, nothing shiny, so that's a good sign. But I was looking through the schematic on how to put this back together, and it says that this shaft goes through the canister and there's a seal, and I didn't realize it, and I dumped this in a bunch of gas, and on the canister it's this loose seal that's actually on here, And I don't have another one of these. I have a small rip in it right there. I'm thinking it's going to seal okay. At least that's what I'm hoping, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going to put it back on just like that. Hopefully it holds. If not, we're going to make a big mess and have to do it all over again. But that's what I've got, and that's what I'm going with for now. So I'm going to finish cleaning the rest up. We'll reassemble and add some hydraulic fluid to the machine. So it looks like we got the spring. We've got this metal washer that goes on after that. We've got our new filter. What I've found is this service manual isn't really the most accurate. It's not very descriptive. It helps. But with all that said, I certainly hope that I'm reassembling this the right way. So we've got a seal that goes on this end here. Let's get a little bit of fluid on that. So we'll put one in. So this will be the one that's going to go against the spring. And it doesn't look like that's directional, so we can go either way with this. So that's on. Now, so we got the shaft, the seal on the outside, the housing, the spring, the metal washer. I don't remember if I put that on. Now I gotta take it back off. Go look at that. Yeah, I got that. My seal's down there. In we go. And then we have our outer seal. So there's a seal. It's probably hard for you to see on camera there, but on the housing itself, where this threads onto, there is a seal. The new filter didn't come with that housing seal, and I inspected it. It looks like it's in good condition, so we're going to leave it on there and hope for the best. So ideally you would fill this up, but I have no way, like before we install it, we would pre-fill this so we don't run this dry, but there's absolutely no way of me doing that just because of the way I have to get this into the machine, so we're gonna have to go in dry with this one. So I'm gonna crawl back underneath there, install it, and we'll refill the entire system. I'm just gonna double check my assembly here. Yeah, well, we'll find out in a few minutes. Well, throw the seat in there temporarily, and hopefully we don't have any major leaks. All right, I think it's ready to fire up. Let's give it a shot. All right, no leaks, no leaks. Doesn't feel like it's kicking in quite soon enough for me, so I'm going to add a little bit more hydraulic fluid. I think we're a little low. Let's try again. Well, I'm happy with that result. Not bad, no leaks. Looks like she's driving good. New filter in there. It even feels a little more responsive with that new filter, new fluid and stuff in there. So that's a good thing. So we don't have a seat. We need a seat. And I was able to rob one off of a old riding lawn mower. So the one we had tracks on it and hardware or brackets to mount it. But this one I like better because it's got a hinge on it here. You can see this hinge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill out a couple holes. We're going to bolt that on, and this will be able to hinge up forward and backwards so we can access the engine compartment, battery, that kind of stuff. So the idea is to mount it right here, drill a couple holes, and then that way we can still get to the battery. Someone cut out, there was a shield that was over the top of this. In fact, there was a plate that went on the front right there as well that was all cut out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the seat right there and be able to flip the seat forward whenever we need to work on it and still have easy access. So we'll get to that next. Couple quick things we need to do. The seat here, it has a pressure switch on it. This plate, it's got a couple springs in it. This is meant so that you can't start a tractor without being, on the seat. It's a pressure switch. We don't need that in here, so we're going to pull this whole bracket off, pull these bolts out because it's actually getting in the way of some of the cross members that are in there. So we're just going to take this off. Should be able to get rid of all this. Might have to cut the hardware out of here. Let's see, loosen the seat, pull those out. Bracket off quick. Pop these out. There we go. So I centered it the best I could there. I think I'm going to do that. We might want to raise that back up. It might be leaning back a bit too much, but we'll figure out a solution for that next. We can build up a little ledge in the back if we need to. But for now, it's clearing all the controls here, so I think we're good. I'm just going to mark these two holes here. We'll drill that out and get it mounted up there, and then we'll figure out so I'm going to mark these two holes here. We'll get it mounted up and we'll figure out how to level that out a little bit better. Well, seat's installed. Let's try it out. All right, that's better. Needs to come forward some more. Gotta stop it from swiveling. Let's see. I'm gonna get my feet in here comfortably. Yeah, it seems pretty good right there. I can still clear everything. Looks good. Just lock that down. Yeah, not bad. I think that'll work out pretty good. Take it for a test drive and see. I think I still want to build that up a little bit. It's sitting back a little far for me. I don't like how it's leaning back that much, so we'll adjust that. But for right now, at least we got a seat that's going to stay still and not roll around the cab. So sweet, stay for a drive. The weight on the front of that makes that a little bit tippy. Seat works good? Well, unfortunately, bad weather's coming in, so we can't paint this thing right now, and I'm gonna have to break this up into a 2-part series. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That'll notify you the next time we have a new video that comes out. And also, make sure you comment down below and let me know what color you think we should paint this. Should we stick with yellow? Should we go to white? Should we do something completely custom? I don't know. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, but we'll catch you guys next time.